Hello Cloud Gurus, I'm Samir Sharaf, I'm a data engineer and have been working on cloud technologies since 2015. In this video, I'm going to introduce you to Databricks. If you're looking for an environment that is friendly to use or learn Apache Spark and you don't want to go into the cumbersome work of installing all those tools on your machine, then Databricks is for you. What Databricks does is it offers you an environment with Apache Spark, Python, and Scala all installed. What's great about Databricks as well is it has a community edition which is 100% free. Databricks creates notebooks for you so you can work on it and share it with others. Alright, let me get you started with Databricks. Alright, in order to start with Spark, we need to create our Databricks account. To do so, we will look for Databricks Community. And from the first link, we can go here and we need to create our account. It asks us for our credentials. Since we don't have an account for now, we will create one. Okay, it will ask us if either we want the community edition or the free trial. We will take the community edition, so I'm going to click here, get started. Okay, next we need to fill our information. What you need to do is you fill your first name, last name, company name, work email, and your phone number. You don't have to choose your work email. You can use your personal email instead. After filling and submitting your information, you will receive an email from Databricks to activate your account. So what you need to do is you click on the link in the email and your account will be activated. Alright, I have clicked on the link in my email that I received from Databricks, and here what I want to do is I want to log in. So it will ask you for your password. Okay, you confirm. And here's the start page. If you can't see this, then you have successfully created your Databricks community account. Congrats. Next, you will see how can we create a Spark cluster and start practicing. Alright, now we will create our first cluster. This cluster is a machine that has Python and Spark installed already for us, so we don't need to install anything at all in our machine, and instead we can use the remote one. To create one, we will go to clusters, and from here we need to create a cluster. Okay, so we need to fill some information, which is quite simple. First, we need to give our cluster a name, and since I'm not so creative with that, I'm gonna call it my cluster. Okay, it's good for now. Next, what we need to do is you need to choose which version of Spark and Scala do you want. So now, by the time of doing this video, it was Spark 2.4 and Scala 2.11, which is more than enough for us. I will keep it like that. You can take a look at all the available versions. Next, the Python version, we have 2 and 3, and I'll keep the default, which is 3. You'll see here that Community Edition has only 6 GB of memory, which is more than enough for us to practice. And this cluster will terminate after 2 hours of being idle. So if you leave your cluster for more than 2 hours without using it, it will be automatically terminated. And no worries about that, everything is free here and you won't be charged for anything. So don't worry about that. Next, what we need to use is the availability zone. Here, since we're in the community edition, we're restricted in those zones. Usually when you use a zone, you'll need to use the one that is nearest to your region, so you will have the minimum latency. Now we're restricted to the western of the USA. We can choose any of those. I'll keep it as the first one, and we will create the cluster. You'll see that here we will have only one driver, which is 6 GB, and it will be, let's say, the master. And we will have no workers since this one is the community edition again. But no worries, it will be more than enough for this course. It will take time to create the cluster and to be ready, so please wait. After a couple of minutes, my cluster is ready and you can see it's running by the green dots and the state. Next, we will see together how can we create a notebook and attach it to this cluster, and we can start practicing. Okay, our cluster is ready and now we can create our notebook. In order to do so, we go to Workspace, click on it, and from this arrow here, you can click and you will find this drop-down list and you will find Create. From here, we will choose Notebook. We will call our notebook something like my notebook, and we'll keep it as the language for Python since we're going to use Python in this course. And here we choose the cluster since we have only one cluster running now, so here it is, and we create. What is a notebook anyway? A notebook is a web application that allows you to write and run pieces of code instantly without the need to write your whole application. This way you can write every piece of your code one by one and separately and test it, instead of writing whole applications, which can be complicated. Notebooks are very useful too if you want to share your code and you can put comments or what we call stories. So you can break your code into cells, as you can see here, and you can give each cell some separate task. So when it runs, it will give exactly one result or one output instead of running whole applications and make things more complicated. Actually, when you run and when you work with notebooks, you will like it very much that you will find returning back to your usual IDE a bit boring. Okay, anyway, so what we want to do is we want to test if Python is working here. And to show you that how notebooks work, we can type here our code. For example, I want to print something, so I will simply say hello world. And once this one is done, I can run this either by clicking the play button here, or you can click Ctrl Enter and it will work. And as you can see now, the notebook prints hello world, which means that Python is working perfectly. We're using Jupyter Notebook, by the way, here. Jupyter is great with Python. Okay, so if we want to add a new cell, we can click here. Okay, what I want to do here is I want to test Spark. To do so, Databricks creates an object for us called Spark. It's a Spark session object that it can connect to Spark and run our code. To do so, the name of the object is simply Spark. If I type like that and I run this cell now from here, you will see that Jupyter Notebook returns the object and this memory, which means that the location of this object. This means that Spark now is available and we can use it. Okay, it's time for some fun with Spark. What I want to do is I want to create a data frame with a range of 100 numbers, and I will show some of it. To do so, I will call range from Spark, so I would say spark.range, and here what I want to do is I will send the range of numbers. I want 100 numbers here, so in this way Spark will create a range of numbers for me. Then I want to show it for you to make sure that the data frame was created. So here what I did is I created a range of 100 numbers and I'm showing it to you. I'll run this. Let's see what happens. Okay, after that you'll see that Spark could create a data frame for me with a range of numbers between 0 and 100. And here Spark will take care and only show me the top 20 rows, so it won't break my notebook. Okay, that's so perfect. So here you created your first Spark application. Congrats. Next, we will work together with Spark and more functions that Spark provides.